This is Haystack Help Radio on KLZ 560. Haystack Help Radio is powered by HaystackHelp.com. Finding help can be like finding a needle in a haystack, but with HaystackHelp.com, finding the needle just got easier. Now, Haystack Help Radio with Scott Watley on KLZ 560.
Good afternoon and welcome to Haystack Help Radio. Thank you so much for being with us today. A special edition of Your Money Matters, brought to you by our good friends at Affordable Interest Mortgage. I always use this tagline, but it's true. Your one-stop shop for all of your mortgage needs. They can help you. 720-895-0500. Again, 720-895-0500. And with that, we will welcome Mr. Rogers. How are you, sir?
You know, some of the people at the office, I keep hearing that one-stop shop. They say, we ought to put that on our cards.
Yeah, I'm telling you, hey, you can handle everything, so why not? Absolutely.
Appreciate that.
Great to see you.
Nice to see you. Can you just not love Colorado any more than you do?
I'm telling you. Again, Affordable Interest Mortgage brings us our show every week, and we try to bring on local folks that can really be of help to you in a lot of different areas that deal with your money. And our focus today is going to be on real estate. Now, this person's never been on radio before, so she's really nervous. No, I'm kidding. Pamela Meyer, the Denver Home Navigator, has been on air with us for a number of years, and Pam's been out the last few months, and but great to see you.
It's really good to see you.
And you look amazing. And
thank you.
You know, for those that followed your story, some medical issues. Watch my HIPAA law, but medical things came on. But, boy, you're doing great, and your husband's doing great, and that's awesome.
I have recycled parts now.
Yes.
Yeah. Well, that's
it's all good.
Sometimes we need those.
Yeah, that's right.
Just keep going.
Absolutely. Well, we are glad to have Pamela with us, and we're going to be talking about real estate. But before we do, Kurt, you know, we did a show last week, I believe it was, and we kind of used this term, and I wanted to reiterate it again. You called it mortgage safe. What do you mean when you use that term, mortgage safe?
And I kind of refer back that with all the different type of mortgages out there, do you have the right mortgage that's for you? Are you one that payment is okay? Does it fit? But at the same time, are you able to withstand any kind of speed bumps that come along? Now, a lot of times people will have money in a slush fund, and they'll have a backup plan to do that. But what about the equity that's in your home? If you never use it, it's a great thing. Mm-hmm. But there's times you need to access it, you don't. So what I mean by mortgage safe is right now with home values as strong as they are, now would be a great time to go out and get a second mortgage. I don't do second mortgage. I don't make any money on them. But it's a way of protecting your mortgage from ever being late on it. What I mean by that, let's say you go out and get a $20,000 second to maybe $60,000 or $70,000. You don't take any money. Doesn't cost you anything. It costs you $60 a year to keep it.
Right.
But should something come up and you get laid off for 6 months or a year, or you have an injury, or you have extra expense, instead of tapping your 401k, instead of putting it on a credit card and making higher payments, you have this little fund over here that you pull it out of your equity. So you never miss a mortgage payment. Mm-hmm. Because the minute you start missing a mortgage payment, your credit score goes down, and then nobody wants to loan you money.
Sure.
I mean, my neighbor, for example, she was unemployed for 18 months. Had she not had something on the side, she'd have lost her home because she couldn't make her payments. She didn't use it till she needed it. But when she needed it, it was there. So there's a way of becoming mortgage safe. You can either do it with a second or you can do it with a first. I have a lot of people that will do the same thing, but they'll do it in first position. It just gives them the cushion that if something comes up, it's there. If not, it costs nothing.
Right.
It's free. So I think it's a good time now with values the way they are and rates where they are to go out and get one of those.
720-895-0500. If you'd like to talk with Kurt after the show, give him a call. One thing I've always loved about Kurt and his team there, they will spend the necessary time with you by phone. And, you know, if it works out to do business together, great. But if not, Kurt will do all he can to help you and make sure that you get the right information and to help you out there. Well, as I mentioned, Pamela Meyer is back in studio with us at Denver Home Navigators and denverhomenavigators.com. So, Pamela, what have you been up to?
Well, the market is, you know, still pretty much in flux. Although we were just talking the other day, a group of professionals meet every Monday morning, and it was like, do we see just a hair, just maybe a glimmer of an opportunity to sip some air, maybe? You know, I'm seeing a few more price reductions, and that relates to two things. One is people have gotten greedy. and have just decided to price things as high as they can because they know there's still a shortage of inventory.
Right.
You know, we have in the entire MLS area, the metro area, you know, like fewer than 4,000 homes on the market.
Right.
Where normal for us, for a metroplex our size, should be about 15 to 16,000 homes on the market. And so to be below 4,000 homes on the market at any given time, you know, people are, well, why is this, you know, $375,000 house getting, you know, 15 offers? Well, that's why. Because you have that many people out looking and they can't find something for sale. And then those, you know, who have the homes are like, well, I don't want to like let go of this until I find something because I don't want to be homeless either. Right. And I think a lot of homeowners who might be considering that move don't realize that we could, in fact, go find their house. And between the time we put in an offer, we could, if they're ready to go, if they've been following some of my advice on do this, do that, don't do this, don't do that, right. We can pull the trigger, be ready to go, get photos, get on the market within a couple of days. And their property might be under contract by the time these people even go to inspection. And some people, and really a lot of people can probably, depending upon how long they've been in their home and the kind of equity they have, they may very well be able to afford to purchase what we call non-contingent, meaning they don't have to sell their house. That doesn't mean they don't want to sell their house. I totally get it. Sure. I'm very risk averse. I don't want to have 2 house payments, but, you know, it isn't, the intention isn't to have 2 house payments. And in this market, if your property is well priced and ready to go, and desirable, it's going to move.
Right.
And, you know, you won't be making 2 payments because, you know, as Kurt will tell you, the month you close, you don't make a house payment the next month.
Yeah. And if let's say you close on the 10th of a month, you ain't making, let's say, 10th of April.
Yeah.
Your first payment's not till June.
June 1st.
So you've got a 45, 50-day run there that can help you out. Gotcha. So it gives you time to take care of that. It gives you time. There's some regulation changes that allow you to maybe say you're going to rent the place so you can qualify for it even without the payment, and then you still have time to sell it. I've got several customers that are doing that. Because the
they could rent it if they needed to.
Because the market is so tough. You talk about being in a tough market. If you go back to 2012, we had a 3.5 to 4 months supply of homes. It happened to tell us at that time that was 15,000.
Yeah.
Okay. Now we're under 4. That means we have less than a 1 month supply. So in 30 days, if another house never hit the market, we'd be out of homes.
We'd be out of homes.
And that's not working. So that's creating some of this. It's creating those homes that should really be for people at 250 to 300. They're pushing those to 350 because there's nothing in that price range.
There isn't.
And that's a hard price range to get into.
Yeah. And I tell you, the building around, if you look, I was downtown, it seems like if there's any space between 2 buildings, something's being built there right now. I mean, apartment buildings everywhere. I mean, it's going crazy everywhere you look.
Yeah, they're slamming these. I call them like box homes. Yeah. And you know, there was actually it was on TV the other day. They were talking about a 3D home for $10,000.
What is 3D?
It was made on a 3D printer.
Oh. Okay.
It was a 3D printer made to home. It was $10,000, and people were moving into it.
And it had
just so they could plant it somewhere and make it work. You know, kitchen, bathroom, bedroom, living room, all you need, like an efficiency. We grew up called them efficiency. Sure. Now they're homes for $10,000, but they're on a printer.
Yeah,
and it's just amazing. We need so many homes to get out there to make it work.
It is crazy too. If you stop and look through older homes, where our church is in older Inglewood, you look at all these homes and you're passing these homes, and you're like, is it possible that somebody could have raised 3 or 4 kids in these homes? You know,
3-bedroom, 1 bath.
Nowadays, when you look at different homes and what we feel we need for a room,
compared to them,
you look at what, you know, maybe in the 50s and 40s and 30s and all, what people raised families in as far as square footage.
We want walk-in closets.
Yeah.
With a walk-in bedroom, they had shelves. Yeah. We want a walk-in closet. It's really kind of funny.
It's very true.
Wow. So, Pamela, do you find many people are coming today where they have contingencies? Has that hurt them when they start putting offers? It
absolutely does.
So that's something that you probably go through in your interview process. Hey, Or do we have anything or is this going to be a clean-cut deal?
It's like, really, one of my first comments is always, let's talk to Kurt and see if you can qualify without being contingent. I absolutely know you want to sell your house, and we'll proceed as though you are contingent. But you will not get an offer accepted if you're contingent. Unless your house is already under contract, maybe.
Right.
Maybe. And through inspection. So if somebody, really put yourself in a seller's position. You're selling your house, and you have three, even if it's only three offers to choose from. One is cash, one is non-contingent, a strong qualified buyer, and one is contingent. Mm-hmm. And they're within $5,000 of each other. $5,000 in a $350,000 to $400,000 price point is not the reason to accept the offer. People always, well, the cash offer's the best. Well, not always. Because sometimes cash offers end up thinking they're driving the boat.
Yes.
And they end up wanting to change things along the way. So I try to find out in my talking with the other agents before presenting the offers, where are your people? How, I'm looking for the, oh my gosh, we love this place, rather than, hey,
it's just a house.
I got money for you.
Yeah.
And so certainly between somebody who's contingent and somebody who's not, the safety zone for the seller is in selecting the offer that is non-contingent, let alone sometimes we're under contract, but the people who are buying our house, their house has to close. Mm-hmm. That's three then.
It's a ripple
That's the
effect.
Domino. And
it
so
adds up.
it does add up. And, little hitches and glitches happen. It is part of doing a transaction. Smooth does not mean without a hiccup.
Right.
There's always a discussion somewhere along the line. And my job as an agent is to make sure you don't see my feet flipping around under the water. Mm-hmm. It's like, we can work this out.
Right.
And you brought this up earlier, you're starting to see glimpses. Do you see the market changing in regards to, for example, home values and availability?
I don't see it changing in home values, other than, do I think we're going to come up, 8, 9% in appreciation over this next year? I do not. I think we're slowing that down some. I've had buyers just opt out. Like, I'm done. I don't want to play.
Oh, yeah.
And, you try to explain to them, that's going to cost them at some point. But they're just so tired of trying to get somewhere where they can't be the winning bidder. And that there's often a caution that I give them, that you don't want to be the winning bidder at the expense of, the value. I get really goosey for myself because I do a lot of my business with repeat and referral customers. So my perspective is, I'm going to have to help you sell this someday. And I don't want it to be next year, especially if you're talking about paying $15,000 to $25,000 over list price.
Yep.
I get the shakes.
Yeah, because you're not going to make it.
I'm like, oh, because I can see paying 5 or 10 if your long-term plan is to stay there for at least 5 years minimum, even at 5% appreciation, which, we've been way over that for the last few years.
Yeah, 6.9 was last year.
Okay.
And they're anticipating close to 4 to 5 this year, which still is very good. But when you talk to 4 or 5, it's across the board, meaning which a house that's 200, 250 might appreciate at 9 or 10, but that house at 500 is only going to appreciate at 2 or 3.
Right.
We're starting to see that in comps that we're getting on homes that are 600,000 and 700,000. They're not appreciating as much
As at the same rate.
They can't, because they just priced themselves out. There was an article about 2 weeks ago that came out, says the average price of a home was $503,000, $504,000. Well, I question that. We talked about that. Mm-hmm. That was for the month of February. That's what the average home sold for. But the average price of a home is still down around $400,000 to $410,000.
Right.
That's high, but it's not $500,000.
Right.
And it's making some people have this belief that, well, I can push mine up. And that's why I think what you talked about earlier is seeing people change their price and bring it down.
Yep.
Absolutely. You're listening to Your Money Matters, a special edition right here on Haystack Health Radio. Kurt Rogers is with us and Pamela Meyer. the Denver, not a Denver Home Navigator, the Denver Home Navigator. And it's glad to have Pamela back in studio. When we come back, you guys think about this during the break. If a person's thinking about buying the house, who should their first call be to? Kurt or Pamela? What do? Do you find the house, then see if you can afford it, or do you see if you can afford it before you bug Pamela? We'll be right back.
What could you do with an extra $500, $1,000, or even $1,500 per month? How would that change things for you? Would you buy a new car, pay off bills, or just feel a bit more secure about your retirement? What if I told you there's a way to make your dreams a reality? I'm talking about trading and investing in the market. Now, before you say, oh, that's not for me, just hear me out. I want to invite you to a half-day trading course so you can check this out. I promise you, you'll go away smarter than when you came in. We here at Online Trading Academy sponsor this, and we'll even send you home with a free home study video guide. Your money's doing nothing for you in a CD or mutual fund. Learn how to profit when the market's up or down. Call us now while seats are still available at 303-325-2776. Use offer code radio50. 303-325-2776. That's 303-325-2776.
Tired of being forgotten, disrespected, and not listened to when applying for a mortgage? Do you always get someone new when checking your loan status? Take AIM, Affordable Interest Mortgage, 720-895-0500. We have been serving Colorado since 2001. We are closing loans in 13 to 15 days. We offer paperless applications, ability to view your loan status 24/7, loans designed to fit your needs, not the bank's, with customized terms, whether purchase or refinance, all at low rates. Take AIM for quick pre-approvals, cash out to pay off high credit card debt, and see how hundreds of our clients are saving thousands in excess interest and payments, all while owning their home faster. Find out how. Call now, 720-895-0500, and talk to your personalized mortgage professional from start to finish. 720-895-0500. That's 720-895-0500, where it is all about you. Regulated by DOR, NMLS 298191, Equal Credit Lender.
Lone Tree Veterinary Medical Center offers KLZ listeners complete pet care services every day, all at one location. It's so much more than a clinic and so convenient. Their expert staff is always happy to help your pet have the happy and healthy life it deserves. Schedule a medical checkup for your beloved companion or take the first step toward a better behaved buddy by signing your pup up for obedience training. Did you know that if your sweet kitty needs grooming, Lone Tree Veterinary Medical Center is one of the few facilities that offers grooming for both dogs and cats. And if you're planning a vacation, Lone Tree Veterinary Medical Center offers boarding for dogs, cats, and other small pets so you can take your vacation without worry, knowing that your four-legged family member's home away from home has a fully equipped medical center on site. Learn more about Lone Tree Veterinary Medical Center at lonetreevet.com or call 303-708-8050.
Rush to Reason with John Rush. Weekdays from 3 to 7 on KLZ 560.
Welcome back to Haystack Help Radio. If you're just joining us, my name is Scott Watley. Kurt Rogers in studio with us from Affordable Interest Mortgage. Once again, their number, 720-895-0500. And also, it's wonderful to have Pamela Meyer back in studio with us. Pamela's with the Denver Home Navigators, denverhomenavigators.com, and that's Keller Williams Denver Tech Center as well. So, I said before the break, somebody's looking for a house. Who should get the call first? Should they find a realtor to go find something and see if they like it, Pamela, or do they call Kurt to see if they can afford it?
They should call Kurt first. I mean, and I have people, when they call me first, I say, we have to talk to Kurt first. And the reason is, regardless of the market, you just don't want to go. It's supposed to be a fun time.
Sure.
You don't want it to be, you don't want to go out, find a house you're in love with, and then find out you can't buy that house, you can't afford that house, because everything, now that you know what you can afford, everything is in comparison to that house, and it's just not fun anymore. So and that's how I couch it with people. It's like, we don't want to go look at stuff you can't have, because then everything will be compared to that, and it won't be fun.
Well, you can't make an offer. I mentioned
you cannot make an offer.
I mentioned at the break, when a client makes an offer, that listing agent calls me. And it goes, what do you got? Have you sent it to the underwriter? What have you done? And I go, I got nothing. It goes to the bottom of the pile. It's not that we believe you that you can get done. They just don't have the time to go through it.
Nope.
Even if you've bought a home in the last year or 2 years, the market has changed so much with the regulations. You need to make sure everything fits before you go back out into it, because it can be very tough. Right now, I'm sitting with anywhere between 14 and 17 pre-approval loans. People that have come to me, they're approved, they're sitting in a stack, they just got to find a house. That makes it much easier. It almost turns into cash.
Right, because we can, well, like just with the other couple we closed with last month, we could close 2 weeks earlier.
Simple.
Because everything was done. And
Yes.
the seller had been moved out for
And all
already.
we needed was the appraisal. It matched in. They said, fine, let's go.
Let's go.
It makes the process a lot less stressful if it passes inspection. The appraisal comes in.
Done.
We're good to
So
go.
then you'll send Pamela a credit line.
Well, basically, yeah, I send a
credit.
pre-approval letter over saying, here's
Right.
what you can do, whether you want to go conventional FHA. Here's what you can do. No contingencies. Go.
Wow.
And it just it does take so much stress out. And to get pre-approved, it'll take me better part of 24, maybe 30 hours once I get some information. But I can get that done, and then you have this letter. And it just gives you more clout. Then you can see what you can actually afford. Surprising thing about that is I'll get people that will do that, and I say, well, you can afford a whole lot more house than what you want to pay. They'll say, what? I said, well, you can buy a $500,000 house, but you want payments of around $350,000 to $400,000. They'll say, okay, fine.
And that's usually what people are trying to.
Yeah.
I mean, while they're concerned about the rate and all that, are most people just, hey, as long as I can swing the payment, I don't
The
care
payment
what the
fits
rate.
in, well, with the regulations and the payments fit into what you're thinking. There's lots of people that are paying $1,900 to $2,100 rent. They come to me and say, I want to keep the same. Well, that's easy because I can get a $350,000 house at that payment range.
Right.
So they anticipate the payment's going to be a lot higher. So it's really good for them.
Sure.
So
Yeah.
you definitely need to get the bases done.
So rates, how do we see that affecting? And Pamela, do people, when they talk to you, are they concerned about rates, or are they just is this completely a split thing where all they do is talk to you about the housing and then Kurt deals with the rate issue?
Kurt deals with it. I mean, I talk to them. We talk if it's like, hey, but Kurt's going to call them and say, hey, looks like they're going up. We anticipate it. Do you want to lock? I mean, because that could cost them in their price point. If it's eighth to a quarter of a percent higher, then they can't buy as much house. Whereas for me, I'm like showing them whatever. Kurt says, well, they can afford a $500,000 house, and they've said, yeah, no, we want to stay at $450,000 because we don't want to eat top ramen noodles.
That's right.
Right.
I said that's being mortgage safe. Find something that's comfortable.
Yeah. And so that's what we stick to until they tell me we're not finding what we want. Let's go a little higher.
We love this home. We'll do this home.
Right.
But they still have to qualify.
Right.
Even
Yes.
though the customer may think that this fits and they can handle it, they have to meet the regulations
Right.
because of debt to income ratios. So now you got to fit that one. It used to be you could go to 55 and 60%. Well, you can't do that anymore. And that wasn't being mortgage safe. So they've kind of adjusted that. So that's why all of this gets taken in up front. Also setting up your loan, whether you want a loan with mortgage insurance, without it, where's your rate, how do you put it together, how much money down. There's so many different ways of making that fit. That's why it's better to start.
I agree.
Yeah.
And then you mentioned if they want to lock it in. How do they lock it in? And then what if the deal doesn't work out? Or
It costs nothing to lock a loan.
okay.
Sometimes I'm real good at telling people to lock. Lately, I'm real safe because rates aren't going down; they're going up. So I say, if you're comfortable with that, let's lock it for 30, 45, 60, or even 90 days.
Okay.
This way, the rate can't go up.
Go up, yes.
What does happen when we lock a loan is we have the option that if rates, for whatever reason, take a dive and they drop by 3/8 of a point, I get to renegotiate with the bank to drop your rate. So you're protecting yourself from them going up, and you might, if rates change, get them to come back down.
So that's a win-win.
Yeah, it is a win-win.
Totally.
So, Pam, let's take the person wanting to sell their house. They call you, you come over and take a look. How many homes would you say that you walk in and go, boy, all we got to do is stick a sign in the yard. This house is perfect. The yard's perfect. Everything is ready to go. I would assume that's minimal.
No, actually, I
Really?
would tell you it's more than half of what I've had listed in the
Really?
last year.
Wow.
I've had a lot of clients who we've stayed in touch. They've done improvements. We talk about not over improving, that kind of thing. So I've had a few where I've been able to just say, yeah, we're really ready to go. Declutter this closet and you're set. And then others, I really haven't had anybody that I've had the listing for where I've gone, well,
But you're going to pay half of this. We can't sell this house. Yeah.
well, you know what? We can always sell the house. But it's like, you're not going to be at the price that your neighbor was, who had the new roof and the remodeled kitchen and everything else, because you've done nothing.
Yeah, we
Like
talked about it. My
said,
neighbor,
your guy down the street.
my neighbor right across the street, same house as mine, he's got it priced $50,000 higher than if it was fixed. And it's not fixed. It's still 35-year-old stuff. But because he sees the value at this, and that's what homes are selling for, he's asking that. And I mean, it'd be great to help with the value of my house, but it's never going to happen.
And does that hurt everybody when something is overpriced? I mean, it hurts the realtor, because, I mean, you're like,
Well, it's a waste of everyone's
hey,
time.
my name's on this. I
Yes.
don't want to sit around for 5 months at a $50,000 overpriced.
What I see happen sometimes, doesn't always, but in this case, if he lists this house and he let's say he started it on March 1st, and by May 15th, he's dropped the price down to $75,000, the lender's going to go, what's going on? Why did it come down 75? They're going to start to question why he had to reduce the price because he started too much. And that actually, and the same thing with a buyer. A buyer's going to come in and go, why are all these people walking away from this house as if it's such a good buy? Because nobody wants to buy a bad house.
Sure.
So it can actually have a double negative effect for you. If the house was upgraded, it's a different story.
Yep.
But without an upgrade, he's just hurting himself across the board with it. And he's actually not helping the neighborhood.
Well, it's that what it'll do is help sell all the other listings that come on the market.
Oh, much quicker.
They'll go, he wants that for that? Well, let's go buy this. So that's what you do. Whenever your house is overpriced, all you're doing is helping sell the listing down the street.
Right.
That's more accurately priced. So, it's okay to sell your house in that condition. I'm just going to tell you what it costs for the person who wants to buy it. So it's silly to think you're going to get top market value when somebody else has to come in and put $20,000 to $60,000 in. We just had a couple who bought an ugly house.
Yes.
But the money worked, and they're not afraid to do the sweat equity. They sent me a picture of themselves in their masks,
Oh, really?
getting the popcorn ceilings off. It needs paint, carpet, updating, paint. It's just lots of stuff but it's got good bones.
Yeah.
And that's the key.
And they're in a good equity position now. Now they'll push that needle back up where they can.
They will.
You never buy the most expensive house in the neighborhood.
Try
in
not
most
to.
cases. And like you said earlier, you don't over improve a home because you're not going to get the money back.
Well, guys are notorious for over improving the basements.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes, we are.
Yes, we are.
Yes, we are.
Just clear it all out, put in a pool table. And
Yeah, that's right.
That's what we like.
Surround sound.
20-inch screen.
I was gonna say.
I'll tell you, I hate that when you go to somebody's house and they got a TV that we would probably all grew up with, that size of screen, and that was fine
36
then.
inches.
But now you're like, how do you watch that? When you used to.
One of the guys in my
60 inch or
office, he says, I'm selling my TV. He said, it's a 36 inch. I said, how much? He said, $1. I said, that's great. He said, well, you have to help me take it out of the house. I said, why?
Well,
He
those
says,
things weigh about 800 pounds.
He says it's heavy. It's one of them old RCA's that's,
Yeah.
it's almost as deep as it is wide.
Exactly.
It's a piece of furniture.
And he says, I need help to get it out of the
Right.
cabinet.
Right. It's $1, and I'll give you the $1. Yeah. You're listening to Haystack Help Radio. Pamela Meyer's our guest. DenverHomeNavigators.com is her website. If you'd like to talk with Pamela, free consultation, her number, 303-506-0106. 303-506-0106. When we come back, Pamela said half houses are ready to go. What about that other half? What are some things that you need to do? What are the things that you absolutely must do as far as carpet, paint, some of those things? Don't leave bad carpet in. I would assume that's what Pamela's going to say. We'll be right back.
Littleton Heating and Air Conditioning is proud of their 45 years of HVAC service to Littleton, Highlands Ranch, and Denver metro area. Littleton Heating and Air Conditioning is your Lennox and Carrier expert heating and air conditioning contractor. They are proud to offer the finest heating, air conditioning, and indoor air quality products with prompt and professional customer service and satisfaction. Call today and mention Haystack Help Radio and save $25 off any repairs or $100 off your furnace installation. Call 303-798-3880. That's 303-798-3880 for your appointment today. Littleton Heating and Air, A-plus members of the Better Business Bureau and official Haystack Help registered company.
Ladies, I know you're tired of walking into the local gun store and seeing the same old thing. So let me tell you about Rampart Firearms. Just a quarter mile up Highway 67 off of Santa Fe and Sedalia, you will find a great selection of guns, ammo, tactical, and personal defense weapons. And if you or your spouse love to hunt, Rampart Firearms is a great stop for all of your hunting needs. Shotguns, rifles, pistols, anything from predator hunting to your next big game trip. Head to Rampart Firearms at the foot of the Rockies. Open 6 days a week, Monday through Saturday, 10 a.m. to 7 p.m. And you will only pay a 4% tax on your purchase. RampartFirearms.com, 720-468-0050. That's 720-468-0050.
I was hurt in a car accident. The bills were piling up and my insurance company was giving me the runaround. I didn't know what to do, but then I called a lawyer I saw on TV. That lawyer had all the tools and the knowledge to get me $1.2 million.
Whoa. When you're hurt in an accident, you need Kevin Flesh of Flesh Law, a lawyer that's going to take your case seriously and not treat you like some get-rich-quick scheme. Serious car accidents are traumatic and can completely disrupt your life. Kevin Flesh has the integrity to help you get your life back on track. He will fight for you to get what you deserve, but he won't treat you like a lottery ticket. After you've been in an accident, call Kevin Flesh of Flesh Law at 303-806-8886 and make sure you will get someone who will do the right thing and get your life back.
Don't fall for gimmick ads when choosing your insurance coverage. Group Insurance Analyst has been Colorado's insurance superstore since 1984, where customers can compare and shop for all of their insurance needs. At GIA Insurance, their brokers have no allegiance to any particular health, auto, or home insurance company. Take advantage of their experience, expertise, and exceptional client service. For your free quote, call today at 303-423-0162. That's 303-423-0162. Visit their website, e-gia.com, or stop by their office at 44th and Garrison Street in Wheat Ridge. Group Insurance Analyst is an official Haystack Help registered company.
Got a question for the station? Email info@crawfordbroadcasting.com. Now back to Haystack Help Radio.
Welcome back to Haystack Help Radio. Kurt Rogers is with us from Affordable Interest Mortgage, and also Pamela Meyer, DenverHomeNavigators.com. And once again, Pamela's number. And by the way, it's a free consultation for Pamela, 303-506-0106. And she's with Keller Williams here in the Denver Tech Center. So, Pamela, I mentioned before the break, what are some things that, you walk in and, boy, there's just a must that, you've got to do. As Kurt said, we don't want to remodel, redecorate, and all that. But what are just some really crucial things that your buyers our eyes just tend to go to?
The first thing is cleanliness. Because how many of us go in our front door? Mm-hmm. We don't.
None of us. Yeah.
We just open, we go through the garage, and then we open our door to pull in whatever Amazon has sent us, and then we shut the door. So when you walk up to your own door,
what do you see?
You'll see a dusty, dirty front door, and you'll see bug stuff in your light. You got to get rid of all that. Get a fresh doormat. We're getting to the season where we can put out potted geraniums, to give it a pop of color. I say make sure your landscaping's cleaned up. And the secondary thing, and clean everything. I mean, have somebody come in like you're going to move out.
I guess what we could call curb appeal. I mean, you're driving me up. We pull up to the house. I mean, have you ever had people just look at and go, I don't want to get out.
I absolutely have had buyers do that. Right. And then the second thing is, how does it look when you walk in? If your carpet is, avocado green, you need to replace the carpet. And I have at least 2 really good, very competitive, no middleman carpet people. And it's way more reasonable than you think. And I can guarantee you, if you're walking into a $350,000, $400,000 house, somebody walking in and your carpet's a mess, they're going to think it's $10,000 to recarpet.
Yep.
When it's not going to be that much. So you're better off on the front end to get it done.
Same thing with paint.
Uh-huh.
Paint's the cheapest improvement you got.
And it is amazing what a freshly painted room can look like.
Just go buy some paint and hit it.
That's right. Really, those are the things.
Do it and then replace the carpet.
Yeah.
Yeah. Otherwise, I would paint your carpet. Yeah.
Don't remodel your kitchen just to sell your house.
No.
Because you never get 100% of the money you do on those major improvements. So, we redid our kitchen a number of years ago, and by the time we leave our home, we might have to. Somebody else would do it again. But those big things I wouldn't redo. But how do people feel? Do they feel like they could have their child crawling on the floor or, that kind of thing, unless you've got somebody with really good vision. And if you consider the funnel of buyers that are looking at your home, not everybody has vision.
Has to be clean.
Has to be clean.
Yeah, has to be clean. Fresh paint, a little bit of carpet, and it changes the look.
Changes it totally.
Simple stuff.
Mm-hmm.
Not hard. Now, let's talk about investments.
Mm-hmm.
I get this question all the time. What's your response? Is now still a good time to buy investment properties?
I think so. I think it is from the standpoint of buy and hold and rent out because our rent rates are so good. I think the market for, the margin for a fix and flip just isn't there at this point. And I understand I'm an older person and I'm risk averse enough that I'm not risking my money on a fix and flip because in the price range where most of your fix and flips are purchased, that's the place right now where you're up against first-time home buyers who will pay $10,000 more than list because they'll move in it and fix it up themselves to live there. Whereas if you're an investor, you want to pay $10,000 over list, that took
your profit.
That took your profit.
Because as like the customer we had, they bought it a little bit back, but they're going to spend the money. Because you can actually get these rehab loans to where they'll give you $30,000, $40,000, $50,000 built it into your original mortgage. So you have the cash to do it, and just all you got to do is spend your own time to do it.
Right.
So the fix and flips I agree with on that. Now, we had talked earlier. I had actually given you 2 homes that. That I know these people personally, they're getting ready to put them on the market. And some of these homes are pretty well priced. One's a condo in Aurora, and it's only $270, 2-bedroom, 2-bath condo with a basement. Nice place, all been upgraded for only $270. Those are hard homes to find in that price range because, like we talked earlier, sometimes they're 3 to 3.5. Then there's this single-family home in West Littleton. That's $360. Again, 2-bedroom, 2-bath with a basement, 2-car garage.
And it's the key is when you say there's a basement, then there's an opportunity for a 3rd bedroom in most cases.
Yeah.
So, it is that piece where, even if we did it when we bought the condo for my youngest.
Yes.
It was like, she might need a roommate. So we bought a 3-bedroom, 2-bath condominium. And everybody parks on the street, in the parking areas. Right. But nonetheless, there was another bedroom and a separate bathroom that a roommate could use if, in fact, she had needed to rent it out.
So she had a little bit of extra money coming in should she need some.
Yeah.
Now, what do you think are some good investment properties? Because there's one for $270. I ran some numbers on it. Your payment's about $1,700 a month. Mm-hmm. Average rent in Denver's $2,000. You can actually own a 2-bedroom, 2-bath for $1,700 a month. That's taxes, HOA, homeowners insurance. That's everything. Total $1,700 a month. But what do you think are some good investment properties?
Well, you and I talked once about like duplexes. Yeah. The ability to purchase a duplex, rent out half, have them pretty much make most of your mortgage payment, and you live in the other half. And basically still the name of the game with any income property is having somebody else pay your mortgage. And even if you're only using the old, for years, the rule of thumb was $1 per square foot for rent.
Right.
And it's a little above that in most places these days. Because when we did have the 3-bedroom, 2-bath condo rented, it was almost 1,300 square feet, and we had it rented for 1,600.
So, yeah.
So positive cash flow, paying off the mortgage. And so I think a duplex would be ideal for that if you can find one where I just saw one in Park Hill, for in the 5s that somebody could make work.
Yeah, I have a customer who just bought one. His was $535, and his total payment comes in at $2,500. He's living in one side.
Mm-hmm.
So he buys it as a primary.
Yes.
So he doesn't have to put as much money down, and he gets a better rate. He rents out the other side. Now, this is the second one he's done. He did this before about a year and a half ago. So now he's got those 2 rentals. He's turned around and doing this again. He's like, well, it's not my perfect home, but if I do this 1 or 2 more times, I've got all the rentals I need. And it makes it work very well for him. But that payment of $24, he's renting out the one side for $1,800, so his house payment's $600 a month.
There you go.
That's a great way to get started.
It is a great way to get.
Mm-hmm. So there are some great deals out there like that if you're paying attention to them.
Well, and especially if you're in a position to make it, you live there.
Yes.
Because you're right. You get way better rates and terms on a mortgage.
I had 2 young kids in my office the other day. They were like 28, 30 years old. That's young for me.
Yeah. Kids.
Really, really young for you.
Yeah, really young for me. Yeah.
But they were talking about getting into it, and that's what I explained to them, that now's the time, if you're thinking about it, to look at these duplexes. Even if they're $500,000-$600,000, it ain't the total price you deal with. It's the payment. Mm-hmm. How's the cash flow work on it? So there's some great deals out there, but you have to be willing to live in that property for a year.
Right. Yep.
And they're out there.
And they are out there. And, it is the price tag, I think, that scares some people off because they think, well, yes, ultimately it is all your responsibility to make. But with the rental market being the way it is, and I don't care how many apartments are going up downtown, not everybody wants to live downtown.
Sure.
That's right.
So, I don't think we're going to suffer anytime soon with a glut of residential rentals, because people need to rent homes where they have to send their kids to school and stuff like that.
Well, yeah, this property that my buddy has, it's a 3-bedroom, 2-bath with a 2-car garage on his side. Now, he's renting it out for $1,800. Even if worst case scenario, he rents it for $1,400, he's still okay because he's still then only paying $1,000.
Right.
So and you get to count that rental income as income when you're qualifying. So it really works out well when you're putting the numbers together. I just wanted to see if you had the same idea that I did.
I think it's a great idea.
You're listening to Haystack Help Radio and a special edition of Your Money Matters. Pamela Meyer is our guest. Once again, Pamela, you can look at her website, denverhomenavigators.com. Her number is 303-506-0106. Another area, I should say, of Pamela's specialties is dealing with seniors, and we like to call it right-sizing instead of downsizing. I don't know, downsizing just sounds like you're giving up something, Kurt.
Right.
So right-sizing sounds good.
We want to downsize our waistline.
Yes, yeah. Now that is true.
That's a good one.
Amen to that.
I don't want to right-size. I want to downsize that.
Absolutely. When we come back, we're going to talk about that area of Pamela's business. And again, if you would like to call Pamela and have a consultation with her, maybe you're looking to buy a home, maybe you're thinking about selling. And you know what? You may think, hey, I'm not going to do anything now. I'm looking in the fall or even next spring. It's never too early to make the calls to both of these folks. With Kurt, with the mortgage side, and Pamela, establish that relationship, start the conversation, 303-506-0106.
If you're looking for great deals on outdoor equipment and clothing, we've got you covered. Hi, this is Bill Paddock, owner of the Outdoorsman's Attic, your outdoor gear consignment headquarters. You'll save 20, 30, 40, even 50% on previously owned outdoor gear for the fisherman, hunter, and camper. We also sell live bait, firearms, and ammo. If you're doing a little spring cleaning, bring in your gear to the Outdoorsman's Attic. We'll sell it for you and put cash in your pocket. You can also pick up your hunting and fishing licenses right here at the store. Your one-stop shop for all your outdoor gear needs is the Outdoorsman's Attic, located at 2650 West Hampton Avenue in Sheridan, Colorado. 303-781-3626. That's 303-781-3626. Or visit us online at outdoorsmansattic.com. Mention Sportsman's of Colorado and receive 20% off all your outdoor clothing.
Are you well positioned today with your current financial advisors? Or should you consider switching advisors? And if so, how can you find the right one? To help people like you, Dot Mechtenberg offers a free second opinion service. Let Dot help you achieve your retirement goals. Call Dot Mechtenberg today at 303-940-7807. That's 303-940-7807 or visit dotmechtenberg.com. Securities and advisory services offered through Genios Wealth Management Incorporated, member FINRA SIPC.
Hi, this is Scott Watley. Let me tell you what I love about Stack Optical. They are truly one of the last optician-owned, family-owned optical stores. At Stack Optical, you can be confident you'll receive personal attention. For over 50 years, Alan Stack has shown he really cares about making his customers happy. Stack Optical also has a beautiful new location at 2233 South Monaco Parkway in Denver. Free and easy up-close parking. Stack Optical has an on-site eyeglass production lab. Whether you need office eyewear or a new set of shooting or golf glasses, Stack Optical has the solution with the Stack Sport Pack. Give them a call today and ask for their $69 eye exam. 303-321-1578. That's 303-321-1578. Your eyes and vision are one of the most important things in life. I'm confident at Stack Optical you'll see the difference. That's 303-321-1578, stackoptical.com.
Rush to Reason with John Rush. Weekdays from 3 to 7 on KLZ 560.
Welcome back to Haystack Help Radio. Kurt Rogers is with us from Affordable Interest Mortgage. And again, for all your mortgage needs, give Kurt a call, 720-895-0500. And also, the one and only Denver Home Navigator is with us. Not Navigators, she's just the one. Denver Home Navigator. You can check out Pamela's website at denverhomenavigators.com and her number for a free consultation, 303-506-0106. Now, this is where a free consultation could really come in handy, because I was talking with a real good friend of mine, Kurt, where family's mother-in-law in Texas, and you kind of know who I'm talking about, but how do you tell that person, they're there by themselves, the husband's passed away, they don't even know kind of what's going on much, and it's how do you get them to want to move from a place that's all they know is the inside of that home? And so a lot of times us as the siblings or whatever, that conversation doesn't go very far, very well, because they're still the parent. And Pamela, we've talked about this on our shows, but
shut you down quickly.
Oh, I'm still the mom, so get out of my face.
Getting someone that's experienced at this, like Pamela, to maybe meet and talk with her, a little pre-talk a little bit to what the situation is. Don't throw her in her lion's den here, but it is hard to get Pamela to get people to say, look, none of your friends, and we've talked about this a million times, but none of your friends are around here anymore. They're either not here or they're in nursing homes or assisted living places. And people would be a lot more engaging around other people. There's a lot more activities. There's people they see at every meal instead of just sitting at home by themselves.
It's true. It's true. And you're right. I do like to call it right sizing. And I do a fair amount of work with those of us that I say are 55 and better. Because older just sounds older.
I like the word better.
Better is better. So some of those conversations, when I'm talking directly with the potential seller, can be started 6 months to 2 years in advance when they're thinking about, would we want to move? But in a case like you're talking about where this person is like, this is the only place I know. Mm-hmm. In meeting with their kids sometimes, it is a matter of starting the conversation in a way that doesn't put the mom or dad on the defense. It's more of a, okay, if there ever came a time where you couldn't stay here, what would you want to have happen? So you're not saying they have to do this now, but you're trying to start a dialogue that if something did happen to you, we would really like to know what your thoughts are now so that we could accommodate them.
So when we get there, we know what you're looking for.
Exactly. So so that we would, be able to accommodate what you want to have happen. And other than the flippant, well, they're taking me out of here in a pine box. I mean, it really is sometimes it's well, the next time we're over for dinner, we'd like to talk about that. So would you think about it if there comes a time where either physically or mentally, probably won't happen to you, Mom, but let's just say if it does, we want to be able to do something that we think you would want. Would you think about what you might like? And then the next dinner, you can talk like, what'd you think?
But it doesn't have to be a nursing home. It can be just another property.
It can be just another property.
Son, some of these places.
Well, some of these nursing homes are pretty nice.
They're like retreats.
Yes. Yeah. But it doesn't have to be that. But a lot of your clients are people that after the kids have grown, they want to go. What are some of their reasons why they're wanting to move?
Most of the time it's because they want to travel more, and so they want more like lock and leave living. So they often move from a single family home where they've raised the kids, and some of them want to move into more of a patio home, townhouse, where someone else, they don't mind paying the HOA because somebody else is taking care of the snow and the grass. And all they have to do is stop their mail. And so they can lock and leave and not be worried about whether their property is being taken care of. I would say that's the primary motivation for a lot of my people who are in that younger demographic. And then the other thing is, as we age, if someone's like, okay, I want to get out of the big house where I raised my kids, but I don't know what I think about yet, what I want to do. Some people are like, well, if I want to move, I don't want to be forced into another move. So if I'm going to make this move, I want to do a property that has main floor master, main floor laundry, and basically main floor living. I can have other bedrooms downstairs. I can have other bedroom upstairs, but I don't want to have to move again if I break a knee or break a hip, or whether it's
stairs and stuff.
And I can't use stairs, whether that's temporary or permanent. They just don't want to be forced into another move. And that's, I would say, where in addition to having an overall inventory shortage, there just isn't much of that out there.
And planning this is much better, because a lot of times when we're thrown into a situation, that's where it gets, it costs extra money.
It does. Often people move
realize
twice.
We make a mistake because we reacted too quickly and we were just trying to get everybody settled. So trying to plan this out would be much better for everyone.
Which is why I say, I've had people that I've been in dialogue with for 3 years. And between, well, yes, we want to, but we have this stuff to get rid of, and our kids are coming this summer to take these 2 pianos, and then, and my husband needs a knee. And now he's getting the other knee done. So they haven't moved yet. So it's about their timing.
Right.
And
we've talked about this in the past. One of the things is when somebody says, okay, I want to go from this size to right size, but where am I going to put all my stuff?
Right.
The battle then becomes, and you have people that you work with. How do you get somebody to take 40, 50 years worth of
stuff?
As
my wife can do that very quickly.
As George Carlin,
she's an organized minimalist.
It's just gone.
As George Carlin used to say, my stuff. How do you determine how do they help them determine to get rid of the stuff?
Well, the cool thing about like major organizers is who I do a lot of work with. First of all, I explain to them that, first of all, I've used them, and there's nothing that leaves your house without you seeing it and saying it goes. I think that's people get really nervous about, if I have one of those people in there that to help me declutter or organize, then they're going to take stuff and I won't know that it's gone till it's gone. That's not true. So there's nothing that leaves without your okay. They're really good at, and I've had people who aren't in physical shape to be running down in the basement and moving boxes, and they just sit them down and they bring out the box, open the box. Okay, there are 14 sweaters in here. Yes, I like that one. Nope, get rid of that one. Oh, that's my sister's. Done.
Yeah,
I mean, a box of sweaters is easy to go through. A box of the legal paperwork and tax returns is a whole different thing.
Right.
I actually just did this in my storage room. And I used the major organizers because if I'm by myself, I will pick up something and go, oh, I remember when. And they're like, oh, nope.
My daughter gave that to me when she was 12.
We're not reminiscing here. This is not what we're doing today. And so there were quite a few things like an ice cream maker. I never used it. I don't make ice cream. I go buy ice cream. It's gone. Stuff like that. So it really is so freeing. Every person that I've ever referred them to says, oh my gosh, they are so worth the money, and I wish I had done this sooner. Mm-hmm. No one said, oh my gosh, that was painful and awful, and they make it workable.
Declutterize.
Yeah, it's amazing.
Yeah. Right. Kurt, do you need to do any disclosures?
Just a few. NMLS 298191, regulated by the Division of Real Estate, and we are an equal credit lender. Our number is 720-895-0500.
Pamela, thank you so much.
So
Wonderful
glad to
see
be here.
you. You look amazing. I'm glad everything is doing well for you. Give Pamela a call, 303-506-0106, 303-506-0106, DenverHomeNavigators.com. And again, Affordable Interest Mortgage. Give them a call for any of your mortgage needs, 720
call him first.
895-0500, 720-895-0500. And thank you for joining us today for Haystack Help Radio. Our helpline, I'm giving you a lot of phone numbers here, but our helpline's always open. 303-333-HELP, 303-333-4357. Everyone have a great day and leave it right here on KLZ 560.
The views and opinions expressed on KLZ 560 are those of the speaker and do not necessarily reflect those of Crawford Broadcasting, the station, management, employees, associates, or advertisers. KLZ 560 is a Crawford Broadcasting God and Country station.